flute players. This is Mrs. Geist, and I'm going to play out of your yellow book starting on page 30. And it's the stuff we talked a little bit about in class. That was your assignment over the winter break. And I'm just going to kind of lead you through some of these and give you some hinters, pointers, and reminders. So, a quick reminder, just because I think that we're not all doing it yet, but your left hand index knuckle, like between your thumb and your first knuckle, this is where that flute has to balance, okay? That's where it all goes. Please watch those videos that I made earlier for you, and that will help you hold and balance the flute the correct way. Some of you are still using your thumb to balance, your left thumb, and that's not what the balance is. It's that you kind of lay it on that little ledge that your index finger makes for you. All right, make sure you've got all the right fingers in the right spot, and you find that sweet spot with your lips. Remember to always start with your head joint to get that sound out. All right, we're going to start on page 30. Lightly row and make sure we tongue every note. Every note starts with your tongue, including the first one. Take big breath of air, big deep breaths, and be able to go farther. And 2, beginning, go. Let me get another shot at that. I didn't give you much prepare time. All right, here we go for lightly row. Get set. Find the sweet spot. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. That one was pretty self-explanatory, nothing new in there. And then number 2, Frere Jacques. We're going to have the high G there. Just make your hole in the mouth, that aperture, smaller, like you're spitting through that coffee stir I gave you. Just make sure that that hole is small. Second line is, it looks like they're all tied. They're not ties. A tie is the same note, and it adds up the counting. This is something that I don't want to talk about yet. I don't want to introduce until everybody can tongue really nice and consistently on every note. So that second line has some eighth notes. They look fast, and they are played twice as fast as a quarter note. So if this is the beat, the tempo, the eighth notes are going to go twice as fast. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So they're twice as fast. You'll get it. You'll know this song. And make sure your fingers move fast. Get that coordination down. I know it's pretty hard on flute because you have to coordinate all your fingers. All right, so practice it slowly and then practice along with the recording. Here we go. Frere Jacques, set. And 1, 2, ready. Here we go. Oh, let me do that again. Wow. Set my thumb on the wrong one. Here we go. Do it again. To begin. That was fun. And we go to Ode to Joy number 3. If you look at the last measure of the first line and the last measure of the song, there's a new rhythm there. We got to some of the classes, not many though. That is a dotted quarter note. Instead of a dotted half note, it's a dotted quarter note. It's filled in. That gets 1.5 beats. Then the other note that's followed it is called an eighth note by itself. It's got that little flag there. It's kind of fun looking note. So that rhythm is going to be 1, 2, and 3. Listen to it. 1, 2, and 3. So the more you play it and you say it, you'll recognize it. We'll do a lot of those on our rhythm sheets. All right, here's the beginning. Make sure you're set for that D. Your thumb is in, your right thumb is where it's supposed to be, not so far out. Okay, tuck it in a little bit there. All right, here we go from the beginning. 1, 2, ready? All right, that was a fun one. And I want to thank you guys for listening to this. Those of you who are practicing along with it, that means you are taking band class pretty seriously. So I appreciate that. Happy practicing during your break. You can go ahead and do number 4 if you want. There's nothing new there. It's kind of fun. But I'm going to skip to number 5, When the Saints Go Marching In. Nothing new here. There is a tie. And I know we're used to seeing 2 whole notes tied together, but this one's different. Do your math. It's tied from a whole note to a quarter note. So 4 plus 1, you're going to hold that for 5 counts. So deep breath so you can hold it that long. There is a quarter rest in there. I know it looks different than mine on the board. Theirs is all fancy. So that is a quarter rest in there. Now, if you look at the last line, measure 12, that is a half rest. It looks like a hat. So hat means half rest. So 2 beats of silence. All right, here we go. And we're not going to too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next one, orally, same thing. You can do that if you want. Make sure everything is tongued. Ignore that little thing that looks like a tie, but it's not. Go ahead and turn the page. And we've got Old MacDonald. Something I didn't remind you guys of yet. We want to make sure we connect our notes. We talked about in class a lot. We want to connect our notes. We don't want to hear... I'm not tonguing and I'm not connecting. Our airstream has to stay solid and a long airstream, and then we just interrupt it with our tongue. Like you're saying, keep that air flowing. All right, here's that set for Old MacDonald. Get your fingers where they go and where they belong. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. That should be fun. There's a comma there. You can ignore what that means, or you can read your yellow book. There's a lot of good stuff in the yellow book that will tell you more things about music if you're interested before I introduce it. So go ahead and read your yellow book. I know a lot of you have already. All right, number 9, some song called Twinkle Twinkle. I don't know, maybe you'll recognize it. There is a road map here. At the end of Twinkle Twinkle, it's a 2-line song again. It says the word D-C all fine. I know it looks like the word fine, huh? But we're going to say fine. Fine means end, finish, end. But D-C means da capo, the top, cap. Go back to the top. Go back to the beginning, da capo. So we're going to play the 2 lines. We're going to see the word D-C all fine. And that tells us to go back where? To the beginning, and then we stop at the end of the first line where it says fine. Fine means end. You'll see that double bar. You guys know what a double bar is. All right, here we go. Twinkle, twinkle. Nothing new in this one. This one's a fun one. 1, 2, here we go. it's fun to practice. I know some of you, if you heard me, I cracked one of my high notes. When you play a high G, if we're not putting enough air through it and you're not making the hole small enough, you're going to get a low G. But that's a really fun exercise to practice. So listen to my G exercise. If I want to play low G, remember I focus the air down more into the hole, gentle air. Long tones are our friends. We talk about that every day. Then you can go on the same fingering. You can actually do that on every note. It's a fun exercise. Maybe if you start on your B flat. Kind of a fun exercise like we do on our head joint. Some of you can do those two sounds on your head joint. So if you can do that, this exercise is pretty simple. So keep practicing that. And we're going to go on to number 10, Jolly Old St. Nicholas. It has got a road map here. If you see at the beginning, there is a repeat sign. Shouldn't really be there, but that's okay. He put it there to remind us where to go. So if you play through the song, you're going to get to measure 6 and 7. If you see measure 7, there's a 1 there with a box kind of around it. That is called a first ending. And at the end of every first ending, there is a repeat sign. And that repeat sign tells us to go back to the beginning. If that repeat sign wasn't at the beginning, if the beginning repeat sign was gone, like I said, it really doesn't belong there, you would go back to the beginning anyway because there's no other repeat bumper sign, okay? So you go back to the beginning, play it again, but this time you skip the first ending. We've already played it. And you go straight to the second ending. So I'll kind of remind you as I'm playing, but you shouldn't stop. You shouldn't stop and go, oh yeah, where's the second ending again? So we have to keep going and make sure that our eyes know where to go. All right, get set. Find your fingers. Find your hand position. Remember, balance it on that knuckle on your left hand, right? Here we go, beginning. 1, 2, 3. Did that. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Number 10 is what I want to play. I'm not going to do it all over again. I'm going to start at the beginning of number 10. My apologies. Here we go. Jolly Old St. Nicholas time. Take 2. 1, 2, high G. Beginning. Second ending. Now we're going to go on. If you want to figure out number 11, you can. There's some new notes there. And I'll tell you where to look it up in a little bit to find all your new notes. But let's skip ahead to Skip to My Lou. Number 12, the next page. It's got some of those eighth notes in there we talked about early on. Eighth notes are twice as fast as quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There is also a new note in measure 3. It's an easy note. It's to take out your band pencil. That'd be nice because you're supposed to always have it with you. That is a low A. And a low A is your thumb, first finger, and second finger. And you're going to blow gently because it's low. And focus your air down and make your hole a little bit smaller for that low A. That's a high A. You can do that exercise again that we just talked about. All right, Skip to My Lou. Here we go. Get set. And 1, 2, 3. done. And now America, number 13 and 14, you can play those on your own. You guys know how the song goes, hopefully. You can work that on your own. I know I didn't give those as an assignment, but some of you may get chosen to play it on, hopefully, our concert when we come back. I hope it's still a go. So practice that. Turn the page. We're going to do one more Yankee Doodle. On page 16, there is a new note. It's high A flat, actually. A flat. Whoa, that is a funky fingering on flute. If you look in measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, measure 6 is marked with a little tiny 6 there. That note is an A flat. I know there's not a flat by it, but just know for now it's called an A flat. It's going to be your thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, and your pinky plus your other pinky, obviously. So both pinkies down. And that's a high A flat. Focus the air up, make your hole smaller, faster air. All right, Yankee Doodle, here it is. 1, 2, 3. There you go. And then you can go on and play some of the other things if you want, but you're going to get to some notes that are brand new. Well, like your blue book, how we every day turn to the last page of your blue book so you knew all 6 notes. Well, look at the second to last page in the yellow book. Try to find it. Second to last page, it's 38 and 39. That is going to be all the notes on the flute, from the very bottom to the very top. Pretty cool is that? I know for some of the classes I played that and it was every note. So kind of fun. That's going to be your #1 resource to finding any new notes. All right. Thank you for listening and happy practicing flutes. I'm going to be honest, don't tell anybody. Flute is the hardest instrument right now at this level. Just to make a good sound, connect, find that sweet spot, because for everybody, it's all different. You all have different shaped lips, and so it's going to be different for all of us. So just keep working on that sweet spot, find it, memorize it, and have a great break. Thank you.